Now, I just a minute ago made a video talking about something that John Mayer does in one of his live solos. I'll put a link to that video in the description of this one. But yeah, once I finished, I thought I really need to talk about something else that he also does in this solo. Now, what this is the Live in LA Gravity solo. So Gravity's the song, and it's the Live in LA version I listened to for this. Now, I haven't gone back to this song recently to listen to it carefully and analyse exactly what he's doing, and I deliberately haven't done that. I just want to talk about this idea, and what reminded me of it is hearing John Mayer play that solo. So I just want to talk about this cool kind of thing you can do if you're soloing in a major key. That's an important part of this. It's got to be major key. So in that song, he's in the key of G, and it's G major, so you can use major scale, pentatonic major. Most people would use pentatonic major, I suppose. So this, or you could use more of a sort of an extended pattern. All works, all G pentatonic major. You can also use G major scale. Now, some people would do that. I think most guitarists would use pentatonic, some would use major. The major scale is just the pentatonic major with 2 extra notes per octave. So here's the pentatonic major played like this. Here's the major. So you can see there's just 2 extra notes. And when you use the major scale instead of the pentatonic, you get a more melodic sound, but you're coming away from either a bluesy or sort of a country kind of sound. It becomes a bit more jazzy sounding. That's sort of simplifying it a little bit, generalising. So that's something that some guitarists will do for a more melodic sound, a bit less bluesy perhaps. Then they'll play the major scale rather than just pentatonic. Now, in theory, what you shouldn't use in the key of G major, you shouldn't use anything that's G minor, in theory, because the key is major, so you shouldn't be playing a minor scale when you're in a major key. But if you know anything about blues guitar playing, then you'll know that the minor pentatonic is nearly the same as the blues scale. So when you use a minor pentatonic in a major key, it just sounds really bluesy. And this works perfectly for blues and for something that's maybe not in that genre, but it's still quite a bluesy song, then that works perfectly. If the song isn't bluesy at all, then the major scale and the pentatonic major fit perfectly, but the blues scale or the pentatonic minor, they don't. You can't really use blues scale when a song isn't bluesy. In a major key, I'm talking about here. Minor key is different. So in the key of G major, yeah, pentatonic major, major scale, they're always going to work. If it's a blues, just use blues scale. But if it's a bluesy song in a major key, or you want to add a bluesy element to it, or it's got a bluesy element in there, then you can use the pentatonic minor or the blues scale. Now, what John Mayer does in this solo, and other people do this as well, but he did it so well it just made me think to make a video on it, is he's using pentatonic major and major scale, and then occasionally going into blues scale. And that's a really useful thing to take away from that solo. That idea that you can be playing major and major pentatonic, but then swap to blues scale is really effective. And I don't think I've made any other videos about this, but it is something I've been aware of for a long time that works really well. For me anyway, it's to my taste, not to everyone's, because as I keep saying, when you're in a major key, you shouldn't really use the blues scale or the pentatonic minor. But if you do it in a certain way, it just sounds really cool and bluesy. Right, so I'm just going to demonstrate this over the backing that I used for the other video, which is just me strumming G to C on an electric guitar, and then I just did like some volume swirls on the same 2 chords, just as a basic backing to illustrate what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to play major scale notes, G major scale and pentatonic major, and then I'm just going to go into the blues scale, probably for a faster sort of little run, just to make it sound bluesy, and then I'm going to come back to major. Okay, I'll do a couple of examples of this. Right, hopefully that makes sense. You can see what I was doing there. And it's something to try yourself if it appeals to you. That's the big thing here, is if you like the sound of what I just did then, when I went into the minor pentatonic or blues scale bit, if you like that sound over those chords, then use it, because it's a really cool idea, I think, and I really like that sound. But you might not. You might think, oh no, it sounds kind of wrong because it was major and then it's gone minor and it shouldn't really fit. It kind of clashes a bit, which it does clash. But a lot of blues is based on a clashing sound if you really analyse it. So yeah, if it doesn't appeal to you, don't use it. But if it does, then it's a good little thing to add to your playing, your lead playing, if you haven't already done it. Yeah, I don't know how well I've explained that, rambling on a bit about it. So let me know in the comments if it makes no sense at all, and I'll redo this, or I'll answer any questions that you've got if I can. Okay, thanks for watching.